In this live coding session, I'm working on converting Objective-C to Swift, and oops, I made tests fail in the last session without noticing. So we have to fix that up first using git bisect, and then add more nullability checks to make things work. And then start to convert to Swift, but we stop at creating the bridging header because I'm running into trouble there. And that's what we'll have in this session. Welcome to another ad hoc edition of the Quality Coding live stream. This is completely off schedule, unannounced. I don't expect any of the regulars to show up because I normally stream on Sundays, 9:30 my time, which is 5:30 p.m. London, 4:30 UTC, or 16:30. That time works out well for a number of people, especially my regulars. All those regulars are currently probably getting ready for bed. So I don't know that anyone will show up for this. Maybe I'll pick up a stray Australian or somebody in Japan. That would be fun. In the meantime, I'm going to keep going with my project. By the way, hire me. There's my LinkedIn. I also on my, right there, qualitycoding.org. That's my website. If you look at that on the top right, there is a hire me button. That'll give you more information about who I am and what I'm looking for, my resume and so forth. But let's get back to the code. I am trying to do another Objective-C conversion to Swift, but really I want to take some old UI kit and turn it into Swift UI. That old UI kit, this is a 10-year-old app, so this is super old, right? None of it's in Swift. We can't get to Swift UI without going through Swift. So here's a problem I actually tried checking out on my system. I thought I'd warm things up before I came here, and much to my surprise, as I ran tests, as is my habit, failures. This is unexpected. Oh, this is bad. I broke something. Now, I happen to know what it is because I'm like, what is it? I have to know. But I'll show you how to solve this. These are the tests in question. So let's just focus our tests on this set. That's just to get faster feedback. And if we look at the log, here is where we recorded new snapshots for beaches. Did I record them for trails also? I have two apps that live side by side. Git show beaches. Did I fail to? Well, I'm pretty sure they were passing back here. Let's go back there. Oh, wait. Increase trail cell height. That was the next one. That fixed a bug noted by this B notation here. Hello, random person. Welcome. Let's have a look at what got changed here. Okay, here we've got trails tests getting changed. So let me check that out. And let's run the tests again. I'm going to smash G. That's Control Option Command G for go to rerun the last tests. Drum roll. Come on. And they pass. So, I screwed up. Let's do git bisect start. If you have a point in time when things are passing and a point in time when things are failing, git bisect is your friend. So let's start. Oh, won't let me start. I have to undo some scheme change. I'm just going to reset it or restore it. Now git bisect. Start. This is git bisect good. Well, Garbob, I wasn't expecting anyone. Git bisect good. I'm trying to remember. Okay, I have these shortcuts set up. Git bisect good. Base. So that's a good one. This is known bad. So we can demonstrate that again. What you doing, Garbob? I know, another ad hoc session. I was okay, bad. Thought I'd catch some different people. So I'm working on taking these old apps. I want them in SwiftUI, but they're in Objective-C because they're 10 years old. So that's what I'm doing. But I messed up. Like the test pass, I got it to green. And add nullability annotations. Did I screw something up? So that's git bisect bad. And now having marked one good, one bad, it... Wait a second. No? Both good and bad. Okay. Oh, shoot. I need to stop or reset. Do that again. Git bisect start. I think I had a bisect running and I forgot to stop it. So this is bad. This one is, I believe, good. Smash go. I expect it to pass. Good. Let's get bisect. Good. Good. Bisecting. 2 revisions left. So now it's chosen change in the middle. I'll rerun the tests. They're good. So that's good again. Oh, it's not letting me move forward because of this thing. Git restore. Hang on. Git bisect. Good. There we go. Roughly 1 step. Running tests. Hello, other lurker. Welcome. Build succeeded. Will the test pass? So that's also git bisect good. And now 0 revisions left, so I think it's on the 1. Oh, we'll see. Doop doop doop. Really? Git bisect good. Is that right? That can't be right. Maybe it is. What if I revert this, passing an empty string instead of nil? Let's try reverting this one. So I can get bisect reset. Ah, we're back on main. Okay. So now I can get revert that. And will it pass? I think my bisect got messed up. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Here I wanted to show it off. Let's do it again. I don't trust it. Let's roll back. You know what? Yeah, let's try that again. This is annoying. Get bisect. Get bisect is easy, kids. You just follow these steps and it'll lead you to oops. Get bisect start. Waiting for good and bad. We are currently in bad shape. Get bisect bad. We knew that. What's with the status? Is there a stop? Get bisect skip next. There are more bisect commands than I'm aware of. Okay, I'm messing up. I am messing up big time. Start. I wasn't reading. I think I was I do this sometimes. My eyes race ahead and I assume I've read what I've read, but yeah. I was reading it wrong. Let's try it again. Now it's waiting for the good commit. A bad one is known. The good one is back here. Increase trail cell height. Get bisect bad. Well, let's just be sure. Not bad, but good. See? Slow down, John. Slow down. This is where it's good to have a buddy. Slow down. Get bisect good. Get bisect good. Try it again. Oh boy, getting too eager. Yep. Thank you, Garbob. So that gave the plunk of success. That's good. That's also good. It's come back here again. Why? All right, let's get bisect reset, take it back to main, and let's go backwards. All right, so we'll undo this, we'll revert that one. Okay, so I messed something up. I'm okay with that. It pointed us up back there. I was suspicious. I didn't believe it. I should have just done this live instead of checking it first before coming on. That's what I get. It's like, don't go for quasi live. Don't try to be smarter. I didn't. All right. So, what was that change? In the snapshot tests, I was passing a banner name of empty string instead of nil. I don't know why that would affect it, but we gotta trust it. All right, back on track. Let's fix our warnings around annotations. Nullability annotations that we added. These deprecations I'm not going to do. But there's this. Banner name. Why can't it be a banner name? Entered from setup. Take me to setup. Oh, there it is. So this is messing us up. These are snapshot tests, which I'll move away from probably, but at the moment, they may be saving my bacon. Hello, person besides Garbob, welcome. All right, so I downloaded Kaleidoscope to help me out. Kaleidoscope is expensive, but it is the best tool I know of for looking at image changes. To see the image changes, the easiest way to see the image changes is to turn on recording and rerun these to record new snapshots. Position it just right. So, which is which? It's missing the caret, indicating that there's, hey, more stuff. Why? Just because the banner is a thing that I have in the background and it's not used. It's this orange thing that says new for like if there's a new trail entry or a new trail, new or something like that. Um, Why would the banner name cause it to do that? Or maybe I don't want to spend time trying to figure that out. So I create a trail with a name, another trail with a name. Those are the activities. And then I verify them in light and dark mode. Where the SUT is the root view controller. Root view controller, let's look at what it does with banner name. Nothing. How to proceed. Oh, hello, Corey1. Welcome back. That test was working yesterday with the empty strings, if I remember right. What's funny is that I don't think I was running the tests. I was simply, the only thing I was doing, I changed a test and I think I didn't rerun. I just checked that it built okay because I trusted it, and that was foolish. That's what happens when you get tired. So welcome back, Corey1. Good to have you. So I can debug it and try to understand it, or I can just say, well, that's not the goal. The goal is to move forward. So if the goal is to move forward and they pass, discard, 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 these pass. Hey. Oh. Reset. Then I'm just going to say it can be nullable. So let's change. Wait, it's a helper. Oh, if I make this nullable, because I've surrounded this whole thing. Did I surround this whole thing? Did I fail to surround this whole thing with... There's interface. See, I've got these non-null begin and end regions that I added yesterday, but I added them only to headers. It didn't occur to me that tests might define their own helpers that should have nullability checks on those also. So I think where we are is I'm going to put these back into the to-do pile. And say, whoops, say add to tests. I need nullability note annotations in test code also. That's interesting. Let's do it. I will take the tests. We should be able to take a single test and come down to the end of the file. I can't use the trick of saying, just look for at end, because there are multiple at ends in here, because in an Objective-C test, you generally don't have header files. How many are we talking about? Quite a few. Damn it. Well, deleting them will be easier than adding them. So why don't I add them everywhere and we'll fix them up. Let's find replace at end with these, and we will do this in the tests. Hang on. It makes me think I need them on all the implementation files, not just the headers. But we'll do it in the tests first. If I filter and then replace, will it mess up lots of them, or will it only do those? I think it only did the ones that we want. Good. And it put them all over the place. Many places we don't want. But let me now take an at interface and do the same thing here. We'll search, filter, go. This will introduce a bunch of errors. Let's fix them up. No. Oh my. It's messed up all the places that have double lines, double blank lines. Geesh. How is this? No. This is no good. Try again. Aye. This is not going easily. Now let's do the others by hand. begin, don't end there, don't end there, don't end there. God, this is clumsy. Oops. There we go. I can just look for these. This is different. Oh, this is an abstract builder. This is an abstract test. Very unusual to have a root test from which other test suites descend. But it's got the non-null begin end. I'll just put it in. I'm not sure that it helps, but I don't think it will hurt. On we go. This is like the least interesting part of this kind of work. And a good reason why maybe it is worthwhile to build up a script. The problem with a script is that you have to tune it according to your needs, and you don't discover the needs and the assumptions you make about, oh, this needs to change to that, like we need to add an assume non-null begin at the top, and it's like, yeah, but the rules are subtly different depending on the structure of the file. This is pretty good to be able to go paste, search, good. Paste, oops, paste, search. Good. On we go. Talk amongst yourselves. Apologies that I don't have any decent music. I've got lots of decent music. It's just nothing that will... It would get me slapped by both Twitch and YouTube. This is going pretty well. We'll get there. Hey, that's a way to do it, Corian. I assume you're in the US? Then, since I saw you yesterday and today at very different times. Hello, other person. Welcome. This is, oh, you're in Mexico. Okay. Sorry. I should have said this continent? North America? North, Central, South America? It's like, yeah, this side of the world. Exactly. Welcome other folks who are joining. This is actually quite a dull part of this. I am adding annotations to old Objective-C code to say, you know what? We didn't have nullability back in the old days. But now we do, and that is super important if you're going to shift things from Objective-C to Swift. You want those things to be annotated as far as can it be null or not? And that's what I'm doing. And it's dull. So play your own music. Tell your own jokes. Garbob, meet Corey 1. And we're getting there. We're getting through the list. So this makes me nervous about my assumption yesterday that all I need is the only place I need these is in the headers. That's not so. Because you might define a method in place and call it. That's sort of how we did private methods. Nothing is private in Objective-C, but you would not put it in the header file, and that would make it hidden. But I definitely need to note this. Oops. This is add to .m. This task is getting bigger and bigger. Maybe I'll do this on my own. But this is good to learn. Test, test, test. It's the way I stay sane. I'll be streaming tomorrow at my normal time on my normal project. This is not the normal project, in case you couldn't tell. In the normal project, we are doing test-driven development on Swift UI, which is a lot of fun. I'm especially proud of it. I kind of miss Objective-C. One of the things I definitely miss about it is the superior tooling and the fast compilation, because Objective-C, the language, has almost nothing in it. It's C with a little bit more syntax for the runtime, and that is all. So remember the build times, Garbob? They would scream, and we could use app code, and it was better than it ever was for Swift. I don't know if you ever used app code. Yeah, so there are folks like you, Corey, who have only seen Swift. There are also a new batch of programmers, and maybe you're one of them, who has only seen Swift UI and never worked with UIKit. new batches of folks as the technology changes. Yeah, the C language optimization was great. An Objective-C being a thin thing on top was so good. I like Swift. I really do. And I'm coming to appreciate even the ways in which it is strict. For example, with the Swift 6 concurrency checking. This is pretty good. I'm getting to, this is starting to become mindless enough that I can talk, carry on a conversation and work at the same time. Work, I say. Code. This is play. I'm relaxing. It is very different. So yeah. Okay, so you're one of the people who entered through the Swift UI window, which makes sense. People ask, should I learn? Newbies ask, which should I learn? And the answer that I've learned to give about any technology in Apple land is start at the highest abstraction, because that'll take care of lots of stuff for you. Drop down to the lower abstractions only as you need to. And sometimes you do need to. Sometimes it won't do stuff that you need it to do. All right, let's see if we can build and run tests. I'm going to run them all. Build failed. Really? Or is that false? These are false. Clear all issues. Here we go. That's something real. So this is a UI tap gesture recognizer, and we are looking for location in view. Where is location in view? It says it right there. It must be in a different file. Anyway, this must be nullable. And that's usually how it is with super old UIKit stuff. There was no idea of nullability because everything was pointers and every pointer could be nil. So when you're dealing with these annotations, any sort of contact, any overriding of UIKit stuff, it's got to be nullable. Okay, good. Let's get this in there. So these are test-only changes, so they shouldn't break production code in any way. So I can note that with this right here. A dot for low risk, a T that it's test only. Nullability. Are we done? I don't know. Probably. Let's look at beaches. Let's look in. That's in shared. Let's look here. Yeah, okay. Beaches, I'm good. That's in shared. Trails. Okay, I'm pretty confident that it is good. So let's call that done. How about these? I want nullability around every .m. Oh, Sorry, folks. Maybe I'll do that on my own. Here we've got a few more errors. So again, with the same thing we learned yesterday, Garbob, that is Corey-Wan and I were on this journey together. And in my old Objective-C tests, I would just pass nil whenever I didn't care about something. Ooh, O.C. Makito, how I miss you. I miss being able. So, Corey-Wan, I wrote a tool called OC Makito, which is a port of Java mocking framework called Makito, where I could say, and you can't do this in Swift, because in Objective-C, everything is dynamic. You can just change stuff around. I could say, given the the mock user defaults, if you ask it, give me the string for the key map type, then it will return whatever value is passed in. So it'll just like figure it all out. I miss it. Here's how I used to create the mock. I'd say user defaults, but make me a mock of user defaults, a test double, a complete. It's not user defaults that is created by this. It is an OC Makito instance of a fake something that knows how to handle messages. I miss those days. Well, this looks like it should be nullable. So let's do that. And 10 warnings. I think we just fixed a warning. 12. Oops. Yeah. So 12 warnings down to 10. This is a test-only change. Mark helper as nullable. What else? Probably another helper. Oh, it's this fool thing. Where the banner name is nil. So if I just say, you know what, let's allow it to be nil. In fact, that makes a lot of sense. When this becomes Swift, I'm not going to have a pointer to an NS string. I'm going to have a string or nothing. So it's going to become optional. So that is actually okay. Let's see if this causes, yep, that is upset about that. So we'll mark it nullable there. That goes away. Test run. Good. So this is an actual change to production code. but it's supported by tests. Make clear banner name as nullable. So, Koryu-wan, if everything was pointers and pointers could be empty, did you have to unwrap absolutely everything to make sure it existed? Great question. The way it works in Objective-C is if you send, you didn't. Sometimes you did. But if you're like dealing with an object, like any object, it could be null and you could send it messages. And the default behavior, this was controversial, but I think it saved so much code, was if the thing's not there and you're talking to it, you're just talking to space and it doesn't matter. Nothing's happening. So it eliminated a lot of those kinds of checks. Now you needed them in other places, but a lot of it went away. Okay, how are we doing? I don't know that I need these. Yeah. It's like, yeah, whatever. I think I'll work on these myself so as not to bother you. We've fixed nullability warnings. Around because tests pass nil. This is more informational. So I'm going to mark it blue. I think that's no. Blue is completed. Oh, how did I have the legend over here? You don't remember saving much? I don't remember it saving much. Spent a good deal of time saying, why is nothing happening, only to find a nil. Yeah, I like completed as green. This is the legend I prefer. Come on. Let's change this. These grouped? What's the deal? There's the ungroup objects. There we go. Green is completed. I like. Is it that color? That as a note. Notes. So my notes is that test passed nil because it was easy. All right. I'm going to declare that nullability warnings are fixed unless I find more down here. Keep this sort of in a funny state for now. Or is that, I'll mark it as blocked. Nah, not really blocked. Okay, what's next? Oh, hey, Rick. It is kind of like that. You basically got that kind of behavior for free without having to say so. Now, I appreciate how Swift does things. To my surprise, we have a few more people here, including some regulars. Welcome. I am working on converting some old apps from like 10-year-old apps. So they're in Objective-C. I really want to use Swift UI. So this is a journey to get there. I think the next step is to start changing stuff. Now, a tip here. Where do you start changing stuff? It's very helpful to use obc-dep to get the list of, this is just sort of the log output, but let's see what it shows. This shows the number of imports of a particular thing. So there are quite a few things that have been import. There's some that have no imports. Maybe, I don't know. There are a lot of things that are imported once. There are a very few things that are imported. Am I reading it wrong? No, I think it's right. I think imported 9 times. There are only 2 items that are imported 9 times, or something like that. How's this? Number of times a class is imported. Oh, number of imports. Oh, okay. Number of import statements. So one is like fan in, and the other's fan out in terms of dependencies. But that's not the interesting part. The interesting part is to use let's go to my desktop. We have now a dot file that will create a graph, and this shows everything that depends on what as a series of arrows based on the import statements. So you can see that Trail's root view cell depends on a generic root view cell. Oh, one thing I don't miss from Objective-C is having to put 3-letter prefixes on everything because there was no namespace. So it creates this graph. To see the graph, and do this to turn it into an SVG, and open the SVG. And here it is. This is my 2 apps, Beaches and Trails, and the common code that they use. And you can see there's a lot of stuff that comes down to, oh, look at what's all this. So there's a lot of stuff coming into activity list. A lot of things use activity list. It makes sense. These apps are beaches in this park in Michigan, trails at this park in Michigan, and I called them activities. So a beach is an activity, a trail is an activity. So we have activity lists. Here's trail. Trail depends on activity. So a lot of stuff comes into activity. Right? That makes sense. Oh, there are various things that are sort of floating out in space. So the temptation for a lot of people is to say, okay, if we want to start converting this to Swift, we're going to start at the root, activity. And that is the wrong decision. The reason is this. I'll just draw it out for you. if we have it's not because it breaks everything. It breaks incremental builds. And I'll show you why. If we have like some Objective-C, and it depends on Swift, this is a funny direction to go, because when you're working with this this language divide, like how does Objective-C stuff read Swift? Read Swift interfaces. It has to have Objective-C definitions in a header file, and it creates all of those by putting them all into one giant header file. One giant header file. So you don't end up, instead of having a bunch of discrete headers, like this has its own header, this has its own header, this has its own header, and so forth. Everything just gets slammed together into one thing for the project. It works. But if you change anything, and everything is depending on it, then the build system goes, well, I better rebuild everything. It gets really nasty when you start doing this. When you have stuff on both ends. Right? Then it's like, if I touch something here, but that touching that rebuilds the header files for Objective-C, then everything in here is going to rebuild, which means everything over here is going to rebuild. And before long, your entire app rebuilds whenever you touch any small thing. So that is the way not to do it. The way to do it is to say, let's have Swift code depend on Objective-C, and let's try to keep it that way. And to do that, that means coming to the other end of things and saying, let's go up to the top of the list where we've got tests. Nothing depends on test code, so we can change those to Swift. That is the easy win. Here, let's note this. So for the big convert to Swift task, there's going to be, let's start with the tests. And the note here is start at the leaves, not the root, not the roots. Hope that makes sense. So let's do it. Now, the one thing that AI is really good at is converting stuff from one language to another. You're welcome. And there is a helpful tool, helpful IDE called Cursor. Cursor is Visual Studio Code. Do I have Swift in here? Okay, so I do have the Swift extension in here. So it can speak Swift, but I'm not going to use it for running things. Mainly what I want is I want this whole set of files open so that I can come at the tests and ask the built-in AI panel to convert things for me. Let's see how that goes. And on the test front, that we have I have got 3 sets of things. I've got shared, got trails, got beaches. Let's go this way. I'm going to do it in that order. Oops. So let's start with the trails tests and pick one. A peculiarity of how I have my tests arranged that you don't see very often is I have my test code living side by side with the code under test. Most of the time, people and people follow this because that's the default way projects come, is you've got your production code in one folder and your test code in another folder, and you sort of have to keep them in parallel. And to navigate between them, you have to dig down into the same place in production code and the same folder structure in production code and the same folder structure in test code. But why? Why not, like, let's see if there are any utilities here. No. Map view. Well, I think the tests are for shared classes are out here. Okay. Never mind that. Let me show you, forget the shared classes for a second. So activity model, models aren't interesting. Oh, here's a trail builder. So here's the trail builder header, the implementation, and the tests, all living side by side. They go into different targets. That's the only tricky thing, is to make sure that they go into the right targets. So for example, here you see the target membership, it's in the tests, whereas this is in the app itself, and the header isn't in anything. So let's look at tests. Trail map. I don't know what all this is. And half of these tests are probably not great anymore because I've gotten better. But, oh, shoot. Hamcrest and Makito. These are both Objective-C specific tools that I wrote. Can we call them from Swift? I think so, maybe. We don't want to leave them there because they only work on Objective-C classes or things that inherit from NSObject. Well, let's try one and we'll see how it goes. This is how we start. Let's go to cursor and say convert that file to Swift. Let's see what. And that's easier than copying and pasting, right? And that looks bogus. It didn't do a thing. I am sorely disappointed. Look, it gave us Objective-C. It didn't do anything. Why? Is it not hooked up? What? Okay. There, that's... No. There, that's better. That's better. Let's see if this works. So I'm just going to copy this. You know, it could live side by side. Let's create a new test out here. This will be a Swift XC test. Oops. I'm going to call it 2, just, well, the file name should be okay. Let's find out what it does. Create a bridging header. It always asks this whenever I'm adding something, even in a brand new project, and it drives me crazy, but this is the one time I want to say, yes, yes, I need the bridging header to have mixed Swift and Objective-C. Yes, please. Let's see what it did. I like a thing called CDH. That's a CD history. So I can just say, go back to that one. And there's the bridging header for tests. Let's have a look at it, just to see what it is. Okay, it's nothing. It's just a place to put stuff. But did it change this? Oops. Oh, no, that is what I want. There's the new file. Yes. There. It added a bridging header. It's a start. Probably need multiple ones. Not sure how that's going to work. Let's go. All right. Let us now where was it? Oh, this is it. Testable import. The project is, this is inside of Trails. I like that at the top. I need a bridging header out at that level. Let's figure this out. It's been a long time since I've done this. No. I don't want to lose all this. I think what I'll do, can I do this temporarily, is just say don't build it. I have to be careful about this because it'll fool me. Let's get this in. Trails test bridging header, that looks good. And that is where we will add imports. How am I going to note this? This is really it's a kind of a test-only change. All right, now let's see if we can't get it to build. If we come, no such module trails. I want another bridging header. And this doesn't belong here. This needs to move. Because it is not part of trail map, it is part of trails. I'm going to move it. Come on, come on, come on. Just sort of stick it there. Make sure nothing screams at me. That's just a move. Wait a minute. I would expected to see like this file was deleted and added, Git not recognizing the move yet, and yet it seems to have done something else. Where is it? Full path, source, classes. That looks okay. Weird. I don't get it. Is it not checked in? I bet it doesn't exist. No, it would have shown me something. This is a little scary. Right, so inside of trails, source, classes. Oh, it's not at the tests. Wrong. These are, oh, but I forgot. Tests and production code. I have them living together. It's okay. It's okay. Don't panic. This is an environment-only change. Move tests. Just copy this. So I want another bridging header. Let's see if we can figure this out. It was very nice to offer to create one. I wish I could ask it, could you make another? So I want trails bridging header. Also want it there. Now the hard part will be saying we want it in the build settings. There we go. Bridging header for Trails tests has that one. Oh, what happened to the name of the thing? Are we so past bridging headers that it's no longer in the normal settings? Wow. Let's see. It's a thing of the past. Okay, I need to get this user-defined thing. Ooh, man. What are the user-defined ones? Are they at the very end? How do I add? This is not the beta. This is 15? 15.4? Oops, not that one. 15.4. Yeah, that the bridging header used to be like a setting right in there, and they're like, I guess now it's like, hey, you had your chance. It's hard because how do I create a user-defined setting? This is to create a target. Is it the plus? Yeah. Phew. Add a user-defined setting with the bridging header. And by the way, I, for the longest time, did not use a clipboard manager. I didn't think I needed one. Rails bridging header. But having a clipboard manager, it turns out to be super helpful. Okay. Let's come back to our one Swift file and say, yes, we want it in here. And let's see if we can't get it to work. No such module trails. I expect it to scream about something else. Not that. Like I thought it would say, well, I found the Trails bridging header. Yeah, that's right. Use this file to import your target's public headers that you would like to expose to Swift. So this is the other place where they get centralized, is stuff that goes between the languages goes into single file. And my hope was to say, well, we need this type and we need this type. Let's add these into the header file. What the heck? I mean, if I do that, it should complain about like everything else. Is it a different type of import? Like Trails bridging header or something like that. This, I think, is making it up. That is, I think that's incorrect, but there is a correct way to do it. What is it? Swift import Objective-C header. That's all you got for me? Swift into Objective-C is not the direction we are going. How does it pick it up? Once it goes into the header, like once it is in, we have ng trail map controller factory inside of here. And that doesn't include oh, it does import this, which that's as far as it goes. So I really worked hard to keep them, keep the objects separated. So it doesn't have trail. So I expect, what I want is to suck both of those into my Swift. Does it happen automatically? Poo, 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 poo. Anyone remember this? Been a while. No import statement. Oh, my goodness, thank you. Appreciate that. Yuan. Yeah, I thought it came in the bridging header automatically. Pooh. Like, why wouldn't it do this? There's the Swift name notion that you may have to add. You mean the what to call it in Swift? I thought we got most of that stuff for free, and that there was only certain things. Good to remind me of that, though. All right, if that's not the way, what is the way? My goal is to find this out and then quit. I'm clearly getting tired. It is the point. How long have we been going now? I guess about an hour and a half. That's about my limit when it comes to streaming without needing to take a healthy break. Let's see if we can't get this real quick. Swift XC test import Objective-C header. Call an Objective-C class from a Swift test file. Should be in the header, should be in the bridging header. I know that. Then import yeah, right. Then put it in your bridging header. Blah, 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 blah. Make sure the bridging header has a path. What the heck? Example. And a Swift name. Why, I don't remember doing that. Except maybe to change the argument names on occasion. Let's check that. It is. We may have hit the point where we need... Yeah, I appreciate it, Garbub. And I'd forgotten that such things existed. Maybe you have hit the point where I need to stop and research and rest and get my brain back. Because it's in here. Rails bridging header. Is in classes Trails bridging header. That should be fine. All right. Let's note this on here. We have to figure this out. This is a blocked item. Whoa, Garbob, I'm sorry. I could have sworn I had you as an approved person. My apologies. I will fix that up once I'm done so that you can post links. And Koriwana, of course, I'll add you to my list also. Can you send that to me? Like on Mastodon, your link. And we will come back to this at some point. Who knows when? This is the extracurricular thing. I'll be streaming again tomorrow doing something completely different. I enjoy streaming. Thank you for coming by, people. And oh yeah, this is I forget who said yeah, you should post this on YouTube, and why not? So for folks who are watching on YouTube, hey, welcome. If you've watched this far, oh, hey, first time chatter, Keytech 207. If you've watched this on YouTube and you made it this far, you definitely need to give it a like. Not that I don't think many people will watch this. It's just me staring and mumbling and so forth. But it's for posterity, and your chats are in there for posterity, and it's helpful, and I appreciate you Thanks so much. Take care. I'll see some of you tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's 16:30 UTC. All right? And we'll be doing TDD and SwiftUI. Take care.